James, we are gambling men, and so we are going to take our shots at who we think are going to be the big award winners for the 25-26 NFL season. All right, moving over to the defensive side of things. James, who is your choice for NFL Defensive Player of the Year in 2025?
Oh, so I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people that I like. Obviously, this is more of a defensive end type, but I'm gonna go now with the newly acquired chalk, the man who's got all the motivation on his side now. Give me Micah Parsons plus 550. If he was a Cowboy, I would have said somebody else, but now he's a Packer. So now I'm okay with this pick. I like the pick now. Just because he's 4 years, he's averaged 13 and a half sacks. He's got 52 sacks through 4 years. What is he going to do in Green Bay? Which he's going to, what he's going to do. He did it in Dallas. He's going to do it in Green Bay. And looking at some of these teams where, like, you look at Jared Goff, he's not as mobile as you expect. I know JJ more mobile than Jared Goff, but JJ is going to be basically a rookie. Is he going to be able to make those right reads? And of course, you got Caleb Williams, who he's going to run 20 yards back like he thinks like this is USC. And I think Micah's going to get a lot of sacks, during his NFC North days. I can't wait for him to go for 5 sacks against the Cowboys. That might just solidify Defensive Player of the Year. They might be like, hey, you locked it up, big dog. Hey, he might only have 5 sacks for the year, and that was just that one game. Like, you did it. But I think Micah Parsons can do a lot. I don't see Myles Garrett winning it in Cleveland. He can, unless he has
Voter
20
fatigue will
sacks.
come into play there.
And then Aiden Hutchinson, after the leg injury that he had, TJ Watt, I think, is a voter fatigue thing. Other than that, if I had a long shot, Spence, I would go with Jared Verse just from the games. I saw him in the playoffs. Of course, he was a handful, but he would be my long shot plus 1,500.
Okay, I like it. And I'll give a shout out also to Trey Hendrickson, who could be on a tear after leading the league in sacks last year and is on a 1 year deal, could sign a big deal in the offseason if he's coming off a DPOY. But my pick, James, is going to be Will Anderson of the Houston Texans. And now I am a homer. I'm a Texans fan, true and true. But this is partly a pick because Will Anderson, going into his 3rd year, I think he's going to take a massive leap in production. We've already seen him be a literal game wrecker on the field. Just ask the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line, who he was giving hell towards in the playoffs, was almost a reason why the Texans pulled off an upset against the Chiefs. But this is a defense I think is going to be the best defense in the NFL in
Yeah.
2025. And Will Anderson being the staple of that defensive front seven, along with Danielle Hunter, I love the Will Anderson pick here. That could be the only problem with Anderson is Danielle Hunter could get a lot of those sacks that do need to be on your resume to win this award. But Will Anderson, if he takes a big step forward, we know how much he can change a game and absolutely wreck an offensive play call. Give me Will Anderson plus 1,200, the 5th best odds. I feel really good about it.
Yeah, no, obviously, you know me, I like the pick. Never mind, I'm just joking. But yeah, Will Anderson, he's been phenomenal since, he's been in Houston. Of course, you mentioned Danielle Hunter could take away from that. But hey, guess what? With your strong back secondary with Stingley Jr. and now with CJ Gardner Johnson, hopefully, that, they bring in more pressure to where it's like, okay, these sacks are going to come in a little bit more easy. I do agree. I think if you're not the best defense, you're definitely top 3 in the league, and it's going to be nice going into the playoffs because you're going to need that tough defense with these teams in the AFC. So I like the pick.